Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the podcast where we talk all things film and television in. Do it with us, ready? In real time! My name is Ryan, and I work as a set designer in the film and television industry.
I'm Noah, a sports broadcaster, and we're joined by.
I'm Hunter DeCiver, and I'm a sports writer, and I've been friends with these guys for well over a decade.
With these bozos. And today, we are talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, motherfuckers! Spider-Man Brand New Day, the newest live-action Spider-Man movie, the first live-action Spider-Man movie since the year 2021. Ryan, it's been a great week. How was your week? How was Hunter's week? How's everyone's week going?
Wow, you have a lot of energy considering it's 11:30 at night right now. For everyone watching, Hunter's only here for one night on his road trip down back to work in Alabama, where he works and writes about Alabama sports and football, basketball. So we had one night here, and we decided to spend it as my second time watching Spider-Man Brand New Day and Hunter's first time watching Brand New Day. So my week's going great because I've seen Spider-Man Brand New Day twice, if that gives you a little hint about what I thought about the movie. And I also watched Tony on Wednesday, which is an A24 early release movie I got access to about Anthony Bourdain. So yeah, a lot of movie watching, just working, and glad I get to see my buddy Hunter here.
Oh, sweet.
How about you, Hunter?
Yeah, on Wednesday morning, I was in New York, and through 48 hours or so, a little more than that, now in Atlanta. It's been a lot of driving. I'm pretty tired, but I had to see this movie. I mean, I've been looking forward to this. I saw The Odyssey a couple of days ago. I wanted to get all the good movies of this past week out and ready before we start the podcast here.
That's awesome to
Noah,
hear.
how are you?
I'm great. I saw The Odyssey for a second time, either at the start of this week or maybe last week. Since the podcast where we talked about The Odyssey, I saw it a second time. Definitely enjoyed it better on the rewatch, and I know this is obviously a Spider-Man review episode, and we're gonna get to that in a sec. But very quickly, about The Odyssey, gotta change my rankings for 2026 movies. I know I said at the end of the last episode, Send Help was 1, The Odyssey was 2. Swap that. The Odyssey, going into Spider-Man Brand New Day, going into this weekend, The Odyssey 1, Send Help 2. I wanted to get that clear on the record because I know you gave me a little shit for that last episode, rightfully so. Second watch, the movie was set up so beautifully, so perfectly in the first act. I enjoyed the first act a lot better, and then I also enjoyed, I feel like I enjoyed most things better in that movie. So yeah, The Odyssey, I love that movie a lot.
Yeah, because I think when we talked too, I only saw The Odyssey once as well, and I think it's a much, much better movie on a rewatch. Because that ending recontextualizes everything, and you realize all these little things. It's like Odysseus is really trying to avoid getting home. One of my favorite moments of him doing that is when he's like, I don't know if this is necessarily because he's avoiding getting home, but thinking about this moment with that in context, when he escapes the cave and then he jumps back in to go with the other people because there's more people and he just runs back up it and jumps back in. I just all these little things that he does. It seems like it's just to delay and stall getting back.
I took that as him not wanting to leave his men behind.
That too.
That's how I took it.
I think it could be that too. But it was I was just watching it the second time and I was trying to look for things that he could be doing to just make it last longer. And
yeah, because he felt guilty, and it was it was so good.
Yeah,
so
I'm glad that you have the accurate rating now. Film's subjective, but having Send Help, which is a great movie. Do you know about Send Help?
I've heard of it, but
it's a fun movie. But having it at number 1 over The Odyssey is criminal. I think I have it at number 8 or 9.
That's too low for me. But obviously you've seen a lot more movies probably.
Well, that does spoil a little something because that means that Spider-Man Brand New Day is not in your first or second spot of the year.
No. I said going into the weekend.
Oh.
Going into the weekend, after I saw The Odyssey a second time, I made a mental note, all right, this is definitely my favorite movie of the year. So that's just the update I wanted to give you going into Brand New Weekend.
Brand New Weekend. That's funny. Also, that video that I just posted of me walking with the Odyssey poster and the Spider-Man one that I sent you before I posted, and it's like July 2026 movie season depression, whatever. Uh, Me and Hunter reloaded it like 5 minutes later and already had 110 likes within 5 minutes.
I bet it's way more now.
Yeah, who knows?
It's
Anyway,
good. True. It's an accurate
yeah,
reading.
I'm feeling that depression after this amazing summer. I've seen the Odyssey twice. I've seen Spider-Man twice, and both lived up to my expectations. I'll tell you that much.
Well, speaking of depression, let's get into this movie.
Oh, boy.
Let's get into Peter Parker's life. I guess do you want to hop right into it, or do we have more to say
Yeah,
about?
I think we should let our guest speak first, right? As I'm giving him popcorn to stuff his mouth. And
Oh boy.
um,
Starting first.
yeah, do you wanna give your opinion, Hunter?
Yeah. Okay. I obviously don't want to go too deep into it because then we'll talk more about it. But in general, Ryan here was saying that this was the best of the four Spider-Man movies, better than No Way Home, which I totally disagreed with. I thought it was very good, but I didn't think it was anywhere near No Way Home. I thought No Way Home was like one of the best Marvel movies there is. But I thought this was Tom Holland's best movie. Not the best Spider-Man movie, but I thought it was his best acting performance. That's the bottom line. I thought he was great in pretty much every scene that he was in. I thought him seeing MJ again and just all those guys again, like I thought he did a very good job acting this time around. Not that he was bad in the past ones, in my opinion, but I thought this was a good movie for him.
Well,
I
now I
totally
know,
agree.
Brian. Now I know what you think. It's wild. I mean, not wild, but like that's obviously a strong opinion, which is great.
I
So,
mean, yeah, we could talk about that quickly. This solidified that. I wouldn't have definitely said that after the first watch. I also recently rewatched No Way Home. I actually rewatched all Tom Holland. We were watching it in the office at work. I was posting it on my story.
I saw.
Um, Homecoming, I realized is such a good movie.
Mhm.
I don't think about that one enough to realize just like classic John Hughes type story about a kid in high school, and it's just cheesy in all the right ways. Far From Home, I did not like as much as I remember, and No Way Home, the highs of No Way Home cannot be beat. The highs of No Way Home are so high. It's similar to when I think about Endgame. The highs of Endgame are better than some of the highs of Infinity. Like the high of Endgame, that last sequence, it doesn't. Infinity War doesn't compare, but Infinity War is the better movie. I think Brand New Day is the better movie. I think Brand New Day is a better movie in multiple aspects. Um, right now, I have them both at a 4. To be clear, I might bump Brand New Day up to a 4.5. But yeah, that's where I stand right now. I think Brand New Day is a better movie.
I think it's so hard. This might be a cop out answer, but like it's so hard to rank them. And like,
Yeah,
regardless, I have Far From Home last, and I like Far From Home. I
me
rewatched all
too.
of them just like you did. Like I do really like Far From Home. I think Jake Gyllenhaal works as the villain. I think he's really good in the role as
Mhm.
Mysterio. I think there's a lot of good aspects of it, but it is in fourth place, like for sure. And then it's hard to rank because obviously they're such No Way Home, The Brand New Day are such different movies in terms of scale. One of them is like an epic multiverse, bringing in Toby and Andrew, having that theater experience, epicness, and also I think it does a really, really good job closing Tom Holland, Peter Parker's um, origin story because the origin story is told in the
Hmm.
three movies combined. Like the origin is complete after the third movie. And
Mhm.
then into this movie where it's like the first movie where he is Spider-Man. Like he is now Spider-Man. Here is the brand new day of him being Spider-Man. Like that's how I took it. So again, it's just like so hard to compare. Regardless, I love this movie. This is a great movie. This is a great Spider-Man movie. This is like it felt very, very Spider-Man. It felt not that I'm a huge books guy, but it felt comic booky, if that makes sense. And
Hmm.
I know there's obviously a lot of characters, but I think all the side characters serve Peter so well. They
Mhm.
serve him in different ways, in many different ways. Whereas like I've always praised No Way Home, where Toby and Andrew both serve Tom Holland, but like they serve him in the same way. They're the, older brother trying to guide him. Great power comes great responsibility, trying to teach him that Uncle Ben told him. Like, all of that is phenomenal. But
Mhm.
all of these side characters, where you have, whether it's Hulk, whether you have Punisher, whether you have even the police chief, whether you have like all these different, obviously Gene, they're all supporting him in a different way,
Mhm.
and that really, really, really pushes his character further. I love that decision
It,
so much.
it goes into what Hunter said too about this being Tom Holland's best performance. I mean, he is throughout in the entire movie, beginning to end. You know what I mean? Not that he's not, of course he is in the other ones, but it really feels like you're in his brain, in his psyche, following his specific, everywhere he goes, you're going for the most part, you know? Um, and yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and honestly, to build off of that, I had this realization either like during the movie or after it, and honestly, I don't even know if this is. It might be his best performance consistently. I think the highs of No Way Home, his best performance, not just of like a Spider-Man movie, including the Odyssey
Mhm.
of his career, is the Aunt May scene. Like
I
the
agree.
May dying scene is like his acting in that is incredible. Oh my
I
god,
agree.
it's out of this world. It's one of the best acting performances, like that scene alone in the frickin' MCU. Like it's amazing. And so I don't know if I would say like, oh, his acting per se blew me away in this movie, but I had the realization that like everyone's always said Toby is the best Peter Parker, Andrew is the best Spider-Man, and then like Tom Holland's great at both. Like, no, I now disagree with that. Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. Tom Holland
Wow.
is actually the unequivocal GOAT. Like I have not had that thought until this movie. And again, I don't think it was like his performance in this movie specifically like convinced me of that. But I just had the realization that he is just conveying everything so well. He's what it feels to be Spider-Man when he's getting like the crowd going crazy in the hospital at the very end scene. I was like
Mhm.
literally in tears that couldn't contain the tears in my eyes because I just felt like that is my Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man on screen. And
Mhm.
I think like he is love Toby, love Andrew, he's the GOAT. Like that this convinced me of that.
Yeah, and I mean, we've also had the time with him to grow like that, and now we're seeing Peter at a different stage in life. I mean, I don't know, have you watched any of my videos? I posted something last night, and I was saying how, I mean, especially us, right? We were 15 years old when Homecoming came out. We were
Right.
sophomores in high school, the same age as Peter Parker in Homecoming. And with each stage of life, we've grown with him, maybe a few years off here and there, depending on movie release date. But overall, we've been, even No Way Home, we were in our freshman year of college or sophomore year of college, but we just felt like we just were in that position of going to college. And at this point, we're in our adult phase of life, just like Peter is, right? And Tom perfectly conveys someone who's a young adult.
Mhm.
And people sometimes say, "Oh, Tom's always the young boy." He doesn't feel like a young boy in this movie. He feels like a young adult, frankly. And even his voice sounds different. The way he does the Queen's accent and whatever, it's different. It's great. But where I'm going with this is, you know, the lesson and the theme of the movie, I realized once I sat with it, is about how when you're a young adult, you're going through all these different changes. And especially you're going through all these different changes, right? And
Mhm.
especially a young adult that is like has, all three of us can speak on this. We have big goals and big things we want to achieve in our life. In Tom's case, in Peter's case, he has um he wants to help people. He wants to make a difference in the world, right? And the only way he realizes he can do that is by, having compassion and friends and people around him that he loves, by trying to enjoy life the best way that he can. Um, all the he's learning these lessons, these young adult lessons of how to navigate this weird period of life when so many things are changing.
I mean, it's the best theme and message in a live action Spider-Man movie of you don't have to be alone. It is such a
Hmm.
strong message, and it's cool. Like I remember seeing a tweet about this a while ago of like, oh, each strong message of the Home trilogy, and it's like, yes, there is a really good message in all of them. That's why it's an origin story. But once you have that origin story complete, and like you just said, Ryan, you go off and you're a young adult and you're in the world and you're saving people and you like the responsibility aspect, him thinking that he took May's message as, responsibility. Like, I have to do this alone. I have to be alone. I have to all that kind of stuff. And then he realizes by, of course, remembering that May talked to him, that like Gene, that the Gene trying to get his mind and everything that is always out with him is that no, like you have to be with other people. And that of course leads to the great scene toward the end where like he does remember the police chief's kids' names, right? And like because he's bonding with her and everything, and then he does the handshake with Ned at the last scene of the movie. So it's just so great, pushing that message to all the people watching, to Spider-Man and everything of you don't have to be alone. Other people are going to be there for you.
I mean, I actually love that it's us three talking about this because I mean, it's kind of funny. I didn't think about it before, but similar to what I was saying before and what you just said, all three of us are not living at home, right? We're all away from our families because we're following, I work in movies, you guys both in the sports industry, and like we're following these dreams and these goals and these big aspirations. But in this, again, in this young adult period of life, and it is lonely. I don't know if you guys feel similar. It does get lonely sometimes, and there's a lot of great, but I think it's important to remember that you don't have to do it alone. You know what I mean? That like this is partially why I want to eventually move back to New York because I think I could be an even better version of myself in what I'm doing if I was surrounded by people that care about me all the time, Not that I'm not now. I'm being dramatic, but
yeah, I feel the exact same way, Hunter. I assume you nodded along with Ryan saying like I assume you felt the same kind of way about that theme.
Yeah, I mean like I am down to go back to New York really anytime, and I think I speak for all three of us. We're Arkansas, Atlanta, Alabama. I don't know if 10 years from now we'll be in the same place. I don't think I would, but there's something about missing home and the bagels and the pizza and all that, and I do understand what you guys mean with this whole theme in the movie, and I guess my thing with this, and you guys went to it in the you can't do it alone kind of thing, and I think Friends is such a big, powerful message in this movie.
mhm.
I don't know, I just every time that was probably Tom Holland's best acting job in my opinion was just how he looked at MJ and how he looked at the people that he remembered, and that was probably my favorite part of the movie.
So I know. Oh wait, go for it.
No,
No, no, I was saying I completely agree. I think the scenes I was watching an interview where Tom and Zendaya were saying they were doing a scene. I wonder what scene it was, and it just wasn't working. And because they're so close with each other, they were like talk to each other. Like they were like, we would never do this with a different actor or actress, but they're like, this is not working, and they had to rewrite the scene. And went back to filming the next day. I wonder what scene it was because every scene with the two of them was really powerful. I think this was by far Zendaya's best performance as MJ. By far.
Oh, 100%.
She's just an incredible actress, and she's always been good. But like kind of in that first Homecoming movie, as good as it is, she's kind of like a caricature. Like she's one of those kids in high school, and that's what people are at that period in life, or especially in movies. But she's fully formed into a person. I think she was awesome in the movie.
I think her being I guess possessed would be the word.
Yeah.
By Gene. That, like 1 minute sequence, one of my favorite parts.
That's the best.
So sick.
That's such a sick part.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Our theater also is great because they were cheering when Zendaya remembered.
No
way! No way! Like they were like, oh, she remembers. And then when it happened, they were like, oh no.
Wait, Ryan, did you, or I guess both of you, did you not I realized it right away.
No,
did you not realize it?
No, here's what I say. I thought it was really weird that she kissed him.
Me too.
That's kind of cheesy.
That's what I thought too.
No, but
it wasn't until they were hugging and I only saw his face that I was like, ooh, they're gonna show her face and she's gonna be. That's when I realized when they were hugging. But after the kiss.
So
at the kiss, I was like, that's weird writing. That's bad writing.
But I think her realizing that it's him is bad writing. So her being like, wait, it's you. You know me somehow. Like, how the hell would she know that? He just rescued her because she's in danger. So like, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I clocked it right away. I was like, that'd be bad. I was like, what the hell? I was like, time out. don't be TASM 2 and just start having like awful writing for no reason right now.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was like,
that's what I thought in the moment. I was like, this
yeah,
is bad writing for a check. And then it fixed itself, and I was like, that's
yeah,
genius.
yeah. And I was like,
That was
I was
awesome.
like, please be Gene, because otherwise this would be, yeah. So, um,
Let's
but yeah,
talk about this. I think there's too much shown in this trailer, dude. Too much shown in that trailer. We were just talking about it. Hunter hadn't
fair.
really seen it, but it's
Well,
like,
yeah, I purposely did not watch it, so I can't really get in this segment. But you two,
Like,
I don't know what the trailer was.
my biggest pet peeve is when there's a big thing like Spider-Man might die at the end, and I know there's another scene because I saw the scene in the trailer of him walking around all bandaged with the balloons and stuff behind him. You know what I mean? All the surprises, like if I went into this movie and had no clue Hulk was in it, right? If I had no clue that Sadie Sink was playing Jean Grey, even if I knew Sadie Sink was in the movie, but she wasn't on the press tour, and like maybe it was a small, like, you know, it was in your face. If I didn't know Jean Grey, if I didn't know Hulk, if I didn't know, frankly, I knew Yelena was going to be in the movie, which we can talk about in a second. My goat.
Mikey spoiled that himself.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did. So it's like there's so many. Even the final battle with the hand, like you know that damage control is bad because you know that he's going to fight the hand in the jail. Like I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know whose idea it was to give away all the biggest moments in the movie. You know, Punisher's in it. You know, like they could have marketed the movie as a grounded Spider-Man movie. I don't think anyone went to see this movie thinking, "Oh, Hulk's going to be in it. Oh, Jean Grey's going to be." They went in to see Spider-Man, and all of this would have been a welcome surprise.
Yeah, I mean it is a good question. I think so. The Jean Grey thing, we obviously like they did try. I mean not try. They did keep that under wraps. So it's not like we. It's not like they showed Jean Grey in the marketing at all. So I think on that part that's fine. The Hulk thing is the big question, and I'm sure the fights 100%. I agree with you, but I feel like a lot of stuff they did show was in like the montage scene of the first scene of the movie. So I think that's fine.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. For me, the big thing is the Hulk because it's like how okay, let's talk about it already. The movie is on pace to make 900 maybe over 900 million dollars opening weekend. So you ask yourself, how much of that is because they saw the Hulk in the trailer? And like you have to exactly like so I don't think it's that much. Therefore, did you need to already show that? Because like there are some people at Marvel who are like, we need to show the Hulk in the trailer because he hasn't been shown since Ragnarok. Like we haven't seen full Hulk smash since Ragnarok, or I guess the first scene in Infinity War for about 30 seconds. So sure, Infinity War. We haven't seen like Rage Hulk since then. So
Endgame, past Hulk.
yeah, I guess, but not like yeah, I guess so. But
I hate stairs.
I hate the stairs. I hate the stairs. Regardless, it's been a minute since we've seen Rachel Hulk, so it's like, do you want to justify that? Do we show it? Do we not? Obviously, they really, really wanted to push that, so I don't know. I mean, it's a fair point. I don't
They didn't
just
even have Ruffalo on the press tour. It's like it should have just been a surprise at that point. And whatever, we don't have to delve too much into that. But even
yep.
the beginning, like say, like I thought he was gonna fight all these villains, and you get like literally the same exact clips that you see in the trailer, you know, which is like kind of unfortunate because even if I didn't know that they were going to do all these cool homages to comic book covers where he's fighting all these different villains like Tombstone and Scorpion and Boomerang, that would have been such a cooler moment, but because I'm expecting it to be more from the trailer, I was slightly disappointed in the beginning because like, oh, it's just a montage of exactly what I already saw in the trailer, that this could have been a really cool thing. Um that's why it didn't bother me as much the second time because I knew what I was getting, and I think I liked the movie more. You know,
Mhm.
I don't
Um,
want to drag on it too much because it's
yeah, I
not
mean,
that deep. It's
on
just a
these lines,
trailer.
like I have plenty of positives to talk about, but do you want to, since we're on this like kind of negative thing, do you want to like roll with negatives and then do positives
If you
after?
have one, it seems like you have a negative you want to talk about. So
Well, no, I'm just wondering. I mean, first, no, first of all, I'll ask Hunter. Hunter, you're obviously saying that like definitively No Way Home is better, and honestly, gun to my head, I'd probably put No Way Home over it. But like, it's so tough to rank. It's so tough to rank. But regardless, Hunter, why is it like definitely under No Way Home for you?
I just I felt like the action and the hype wasn't as amazing. It was still great. Like I thought the hand scene was probably the best fight scene in the whole movie. But there was just something special about three Spider-Men going all at once.
Yeah.
It's just hard to top that. I mean, that would be my main thing.
Against their most iconic villains
Right.
all together.
It was just a perfect encapsulation of all that. We didn't really see that in this one, but I mean, that's not fighting. Wasn't really the main theme of this movie. Fighting wasn't everything.
It's where no, it's that conversation we have sometimes about like how do you rate things? Like maybe I think No Way Home is more of my favorite in some ways because I remember that moment, like the experience of that first one beats the experience of watching Brand New Day. I just think Brand New Day is a better overall film. Like when I watch No Way Home again, there's just so many plot conveniences. Like I hate when Doctor Strange is making the spell.
Yep.
Peter keeps interrupting him.
Right.
There's so many little moments like that just really kind of pissed me off in No Way Home. And it's all made up for because the ending and the May death and the Spider-Man and the villains and Defoe, it's incredible. So it's fine. But this is a better movie and it looks better, which is something else I want to talk about. This movie,
I think the action's better, and I agree that nothing annoyed me in this movie as much as the butchering of the spell, did
yeah.
in No Way Home. So, sure, the lowest part in either movie goes to No Way Home. I agree with that.
What was your negative, Noah?
This might have not bothered you, but I have two that I wrote down. So remember how, and I don't even know if it's a negative. This might just be like a me thing, but remember how Peter he was tricked. He was manipulated by Milchick from Severance, by Tamil Truman, and he was tricked. He was deceived, and then because Jean wasn't actually Sarah. Milchick made up that Sarah was someone he knew who died or whatever. And then Peter was deceived, and then he was like, "Oh, I can't believe I fell for it." And then Jean is like, "You can't believe everyone you trust." At least I think she's the one who said that, and it's that annoyed the hell out of me because that is Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's not just the whole point of Far From Home is that he learned the lesson to not trust people and to always read into things more, to not get deceived so easily like that. And it's less about me being annoyed that happened because it's realistic that he would believe that or whatever, but it's why are we doing that again? I don't know.
No, but that's not it. That's not it, I don't think. I don't think that's a lesson for him. Jean's not teaching Peter really anything, frankly.
No, yeah.
Peter's teaching Jean. So Jean in that moment is saying, you can't trust anyone because she thinks that she can't be around anyone. She's what Peter's turning into to the extreme because Peter's saying he wants to be isolated, or maybe not to the extreme. They both want to be isolated. They both want to be alone. They don't want to harm people around them. So she's saying you can't trust anyone. Maybe she has a different perspective on it, but he's saying no, you need people around you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I don't think that's her teaching him a lesson or something that it deals with his arc. I think that's her arc, and he takes his experiences, including the No Way Home experience, and that's why I don't know. But you did bring up.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right that it's not her teaching him a lesson. No. I see your point. I see why it serves the movie well. I guess in the moment I was reminded, I was like, why is Peter getting tricked and manipulated by someone of power who is the main villain of the movie? Who it was bro, we did that. I don't know. I feel like there could have been another way to do that. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Either I get what you're saying. I get why that.
Maybe he shouldn't have fell for damage control's tricks. He should have looked more into that. I get that.
Yeah. I feel like they could have written that a little better to not feel the same way. Again, when you have you have to be very careful. And I think we haven't even talked about him yet, but I think DDC does a phenomenal job directing the first movie after the Watts movies. But when there's an origin story, you have to think of all the lessons that were learned, and he's a new man now, and he takes all that. But I see your point as to why that wasn't a lesson sort of thing. I see your point.
Well, what's your second negative?
This isn't as bad, I don't think, or like this isn't awful, but I noticed this during the movie. I think I talked about the side characters being great, but it felt a little interesting how like the usage of them in terms of like the time. So, for example, the police chief, DeWolf, I think her name's DeWolf.
Mm.
DeWolf is used a lot in the beginning, and then at the 40-ish minute, 45-minute, 50-minute mark, she just like isn't seen in the movie again until the last scene. And it when she popped back up, I was like, oh yeah, I remember her.
I said the same thing. I was like, I forgot about her.
Mhm.
But to be fair, I remember she did say like you have to figure this out on your own because he messed up. So I get that a little bit, but it's still. And then Frank Castle ends up being a huge part of this. We haven't even really talked about Frank Castle, by the way, but he hasn't been huge part of this movie. He was like in one scene in the first hour and a half of the movie, and then he ends up being in the entire rest kind of thing. So it felt like it was the opposite, where she was used a lot in the beginning, he was used a lot in the end, and it worked. It wasn't. It was again. It was that feeling of like, oh yeah, I remember her. So it just felt interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't know. That definitely didn't bother me, but yeah, you thought similarly.
Yeah, I thought similarly. I don't know what to think of John Bernthal in this. I was telling Ryan this, like,
He also didn't know though that he has his own TV show. He didn't know the lore. I had to
right,
explain.
yeah, I didn't know that, but like, I just felt like it was maybe too many jokes. I thought the ending was fantastic. Let me say that. Yeah, that was great. But I felt there might have been too many jokes, and he was just always going places where he shouldn't have been going, and he's a bit of a nutcase. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I just saw him in the Odyssey 2 days ago, and he's
I
like
mean,
totally different.
that's what I love. That's what I loved about him. I love Frank's a nutcase, and I don't know. This is a different side of him from what we've seen before, and it shows that they can do these rated R heroes and have them still be dark in their own projects, and then not be that in a different project. I thought it was cool.
Right. Yeah, and I saw him also as like Brad from Wolf of Wall Street.
I also met him, Hunter,
Really? Okay.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, what you mean him for?
I was just walking the streets of New York City, and I saw him. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, that's cool. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite performance of his. I'm not gonna say he did bad, but I'm used to seeing him in a different kind of mindset, different style, and yeah, it's just different.
Well, I think this was my favorite performance of his. I well, wait for starters, I did not see The Punisher. So like I knew of the character, I knew the family, like the something with his family, like I knew that sort of background a little bit, but I didn't see the show. Um, and I haven't sid Daredevil, so like I literally have not seen his character, and I know I need to get on that. And like as an introduction to the character for me, I think they did a really good job with it. I think Bernthal was good. I think he was much better in this than the Odyssey. And I know it's way different characters, like Hunter was saying, but still, like I think he was better. I think the buddy cop partner situation where they're so opposites because he just wants to shoot everybody and he doesn't give a shit, and then Spider-Man is obviously Spider-Man, so he wants to protect everyone. I just thought it worked so well. The jokes landed for me. I thought he was definitely a positive in this movie for me.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. I have one negative, and then let's talk about positives.
Okay.
My one negative is the Zendaya reveals that she doesn't have memory when she gets taken over by Jean, and that's how he realizes that Milchen was lying.
Hmm.
I think it's made very clear multiple times earlier in the movie that these people black out and just appear like when Jean takes over multiple times, especially on the second watch. I looked for it, and they're like, "What happened? What happened?"
Right.
So I don't know why Peter doesn't realize
Ooh.
that earlier.
Oh wait, yeah. Oh my God, that's a really good point.
It's pretty much like every time.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're always like Spider-Man.
yeah. So that's my only real issue I had walking out of the theater. But let's talk about the positives because it is getting late here.
Yep.
The movie, Daniel Destin Cretton, the director, incredible. The movie feels different in the exact way I wanted. The colors pop. The suit, dude. Every time it's on scene, on screen.
They look good.
It looked so good. The swinging scenes are visceral when he has his senses go crazy. Oh my god, that scene got me both times, like chills up and down. Um, it's such a well-made film, such a well-made film, and you can feel the practicalness of it. You can feel the care and love put into it. I think it's Daniel Cretton. I hope he does the next two movies.
Yeah, no, I think he did a really good job. I think it was really good.
Probably.
I think the action was great. I think the swinging scenes were good. I think I mean, I saw it before because, like you said, we saw a lot of stuff before, but the one swinging scene in particular toward the beginning, when he's going after Scorpion, when you're able to see in the mask, you're able to see his eye and that whole, and then you like are with him when he lands. I thought they tried cool things like with someone like Spider-Man. I feel like there's always new things you could do,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the complaints. I love the home trilogy, but I think one of the complaints about the John Watts movies is that like they didn't really do a lot of new things with the swinging scenes and with the action and all that kind of stuff, which is totally fair. And you could tell that I'm just going to say DDC that DDC was trying something new, and it worked. It 100% worked for me. You can't really mess it up a lot if you're trying new creative cool things with Spider-Man. Like no, who's gonna like it's yeah, it worked. It 100% worked.
Yeah. I guess my ultimate positive. I'd go with some of my favorite scenes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Number one would be, as I said, Zendaya, or not Zendaya, sorry, MJ, revealing that she is the possessed one for that moment. Another's the Battle of the Hand. One thing I wish that they did more of is maybe develop an additional scene into the whole Rachel thing.
Sarah.
Sorry, yeah. And Jean's sister. I felt like they touched on it for about 5 minutes. I think they could have gone a little further into it, but I still thought it was well done.
Yeah, those are two of my favorite scenes too. Obviously, the Zendaya MJ scene and the hand. And like I mentioned, when his senses go crazy, I really like that scene.
Yep.
And just that end sequence in the hospital with him walking out and Punisher, so funny. There's a lot of really good moments. You mentioned something. What was the thing you said you didn't like that much just a second ago?
Oh, I thought they could have gotten a little more into the whole Sarah.
Oh, that makes me. Let's talk about Gene.
Let's talk about Gene. Cool. It had to happen eventually.
Yeah, was the right way to introduce. Sadie Sink's great, and I can see them continuing to introduce mutants in like I can see Storm being in Black Panther 3, a few mutants here and there, and they all come together in this X-Men movie. She's going upstate at the end, going to the X Mansion presumably or something like that. And yeah, one of the biggest things about it is, she's young. We got a young Jean Grey, which means we're gonna get a young cast of X-Men who are kids and going to school and figuring out how to use their powers, and I'm pumped.
Very happy. Obviously, we talked about Sadie Sink a lot during our Stranger Things episodes. Probably the standout acting performance in all of season 4. And even though she didn't have a ton that she could do, being paralyzed in season 5, she still is one of the standout performances in that season. And yeah, Sadie's great. So very, very happy. Obviously, we kind of knew, we didn't like know, but we speculated. We thought that she was going to be Jean Grey. But now that it's confirmed, I'm very, very happy. It's such a good casting. And then it was interesting because, like, I'd say after her first couple to few scenes, I was like, all right, she hasn't been given like that much yet. Like, I don't know if they're gonna like go all out for her acting range in this movie, or they're gonna wait for like an X-Men movie or whatever. And then the entire third act is her just like going crazy in that room, and it was sick. And I was like, yeah, let's go. So
Yeah.
I thought she did a really good job. And yeah, I think the interesting question that I didn't even think of, like I heard on a podcast after, the interesting question is, do you think that I guess do you think she's redeemable? Because she kills the one guy, which is crazy, by the way.
Which
that
guy? Oh, in
the construction guy who walks into oncoming traffic.
into traffic.
Oh yeah.
He probably dies, and then Peter later on says, "You're not a killer," which do we know if that's true? Anyway, the bomb,
I agree.
the explosion did not show anybody dying, so like we don't know anybody died from that. We don't know if like we didn't see the Hulk kill anyone per se, so like we don't know if anyone died from that. The one guy that's hard to come back from, so he probably died, and then. Obviously, like the MJ kiss thing is like pure evil and twisted, but I think killing somebody's worse. So, like, the question is, are you okay with her having an arc where it's kind of the opposite of what Jean Grey usually is? Good villain. Are you okay with a situation where it's a Loki situation where, you know, you're evil, you do twisted stuff, and then you're helped out by Professor X, and then you become very likable? Like, are you going to be able to like her as much knowing that she did, like, kind of evil shit in this movie?
Maybe because then when she does turn dark at some point, potentially, whether that's 10 years down the line, we already know she has it in her. It's not coming from nowhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair.
but that is probably my second issue with the movie is that she kills people. Like she's too evil in that first half, and I get it's like a misdirect maybe or whatever it's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
but she does a bit. The kiss is messed up, but obviously she thinks Spider-Man's helping damage control. But the innocent people, yeah, that doesn't. It's not cool. Not cool. Not cool, Sadie.
I just hope she has to deal with the consequences. Like I hope it's whether it's addressed or whether like I just hope that if she has to deal with the consequences and live with that and like that's part of her arc and everything, then
It could be
great.
why they hate mutants. It could be a
Address
big
it.
reason. It could be a big reason why people hate mutants because of that. It could be come back in that way. And speaking of that, I mean, you realize Peter pulled a Tony Stark.
Peter
Do you know
pulled
why?
Peter pulled a J. Robert Oppenheimer.
He did. Peter pulled an Oppenheimer. Peter pulled a Matt Damon in the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Means Peter invented that inhibitor chip thing,
Oh right. Okay. Okay.
which is gonna be used in the future
right.
to really hurt some people. And I would not be shocked if that comes into play that he invented that device with MJ and Bruce Banner.
I hope it does. I hope that would be
I hope
phenomenal.
it does too.
Like Spider-Man and Jean Grey should both be huge players. If the MCU is smart, at least Spider-Man. I'm talking about. I mean, never mind. I'll talk about that later. But they should be, they should be huge players, and that is such a perfect storyline for whether it's a first X-Men movie or a second X-Men movie, whatever it is. Probably first, but that would be phenomenal. I think they should absolutely use that. It's such a good. Oh, it's so good. And then Peter has to deal with those consequences. Oh, I love when Spider-Man has to deal with consequences. So good. So good.
Let's talk about the end post-credit scene.
Okay,
Speaking of-
let's do it.
It's Toby.
One would think, maybe.
Doomsday.
It's one of two things, and then there's a third thing that I heard, but I don't think that's true at all. I think it's definitely one of two things. It's either Toby and Doomsday. You don't think it could be because the other one is Tom at Battle Worlds. You don't think it could be that?
Yeah, it could be.
That my first thought right away, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's sick." And then I thought, like I said it out loud in the theater, and I thought it was Tom, relocating to Battle Worlds. But I guess how would the tracker track like a different universe or whatever? So I guess.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's like that. I don't think the tracker's accurate. I think it's more of a gag for the audience. Like I don't think it's like, oh, this is actually showing up on every tracker. You know?
No, that's how I took it. Everything, but no, I swear this is how I took it because when they do this kind of stuff, they've done this sort of thing. Just this is a really creative way to do it. But they've done this sort of thing. They did it whether it's like the Fury Captain Marvel thing or even if it's like Ant-Man playing drums, like in the second after credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's like you see in the very very background the TV that says like warning, basically the world's coming to an end warning, and it's like you could laugh at that, it's a stupid scene, but that's actually going on. So I took it as that's actually a thing that like
showed on people's
I
phones.
took it seriously. I took it as like a fun, silly, creative way to like that something's going on.
I didn't because I mean, there's the legitimism maybe, but like, I didn't because I feel like how would the system know that there's Spider-Man?
Because
Like
it tracks Spider-Man.
merging multiverses with like how would it track a spider? But it's probably doesn't track the actual spider. It's probably like people taking pictures tracking it. That's my assumption. Ned created the app, so Ned creates this app that tracks Spider-Man throughout New York City. People probably upload photos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How are they getting a photo of him in the middle of space? I think it's more metaphorical, unless it's some sort of like universe colliding thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, no.
Regardless,
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Regardless, I mean, it means something. I don't think it's like a
yes,
nothing burger. I think it means
well,
something.
Mm-hmm.
So you think it's Toby in Doomsday? You
or
think
Tom
think
in Super Wars.
yeah, like so, but you're on the side.
Imagine there was 3 Spider-Man icons that showed up.
Imagine
Oh
what?
my god.
Imagine 3 Spider-Man icons showed up at the same time in
That'd be
space.
funny. That'd be funny. Well, okay. So the third thing, by the way, was some people who say they're geniuses on Twitter. They're convinced that it's Miles, but I don't think so because not for like a Spider-Man universe reason, just for the reason of like they're not ready to replace Tom yet. Like they're not like not yet. Like Miles will come in the future, of course. Caleb McLaughlin is waiting. Like it'll happen. But
It's not going to be him. He's too old. It'll be someone.
I know. I wish, but no. But it's yeah, I don't see that happening. I see a Toby, maybe even an Andrew situation, but I think it would be the whole like like yeah, Toby in Doomsday, his universe, so he has to come here. His universe is
Mm-hmm.
he's already familiar with the universe, so it works out. Like I don't know that sort of situation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We've been doing this for a bit. Overall thoughts, guys. Let's start with me. Let's start with me. The more I talk about this movie, the more I think about it, the more I like it, and I think it's a blast. Oh, my light just went out, so perfect timing. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it's a Spider-Man movie I wanted. It's a little bit different from what I expected, but this second rewatch definitely solidified just how awesome this movie is. And yeah, you'll see my letterbox tomorrow. See if I bump it up half a star.
Yeah, I mean, I ranked it a 3.5. I don't know if I'm willing to make it a 4. It was still very good, but I don't want to go too much in on this because I know we're ending here. But is this a top 10 Marvel movie? Top 8, top 7, somewhere in that area?
Marvel or MCU?
MCU.
Yeah, probably top 10.
Ooh, it's close.
That's how I
My
think. Yeah.
the top. It's close. It's close. It's 100% close. Like it's borderline top 10. I think. I have
What's,
I have
what's
hope
preventing you?
borderline top 10.
Is there somewhere else? Like, is there like a movie
I mean,
first or like
I've
before it that you're thinking, oh, maybe this is probably better, but it could be worse? Or
I have my ranking right here in front of me.
oh yeah,
Um,
that's right.
my yeah, Homecoming's 10, but that's just for like through. That doesn't even include Guardians 3. It might be. I don't know. It's borderline. It's close.
Gotcha.
It's definitely close. I don't know if I could definitively say that yet, but it's close. Um, two very, very, very quick positives, very quick, and then I'll do my synopsis. Um, the MJ "I don't love you" scene was it's such a good decision to not have them get back together in the end because it would have been the Mandalorian like just Grogu being back like it would have just it would have undid you know what I'm trying to say the ending
I
of
agree. And they
no,
can
wait.
still get back together at some point.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which is fine, but don't do it the movie after. Yeah, exactly.
That's so adorable. They re-fall in love with each other again. Like, that's such a good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then put Yelena Belova in every single Marvel project for the rest of time.
Yeah, she's great, but
God damn.
I do kind of wish they did those scenes like in Avengers Tower.
Instead of in a bathtub?
Yeah.
Like, you mean because of uncomfortability or because you.
Thunderbolts.
No,
At the
Noah's been telling me to say it.
Yelena. Can I spoil it?
No.
Okay.
I know who she is.
Well, Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
If it,
are you saying because you think she should be living at Avengers Tower?
no, I just think it's a little weird that that's her office. Like it's funny, it's a gag, but like I don't know.
Well, she goes into. I'm sure she goes into the tower all the time. Like it's. She
Yeah.
doesn't need to live. I don't think she needs to live there.
No, not live, but like it was her. She said, "Oh, this is my office. This is where I conduct business." Because she makes them
Oh.
take off their clothes. I don't know. It's fine. It's not.
Look, we
I
get
like
to
it.
see
She's the
Florence
best.
Pugh naked.
She's
Like,
so good. When he sticks his toes out, that scene's so funny.
so funny, so
Yeah.
funny. No, yeah, I don't know. She's great. But anyway, I love this movie. I walked out. I think it's a great encapsulates the Spider-Man story. I think it does a really good job. Again, I don't know if I can definitively say it's like a top 10 MCU for me. It's borderline. I'm very happy with it. Tom Holland is my goat. I'm so happy that he's thriving this month in a lot of different ways. And yeah, no, I think we won. I think we won with
We
this one.
won. All right. This has been Ryan, Hunter, Noah, talking all things film and TV and Spider-Man Brand New Day in
In
real
real
time.
time.